And we definitely need to eat this to heal. Alright. And then we have... Let's look. It's a corpse under a blanket. Let's see what we get here. Okay, we get more healing. Let's see what we can do. Cold corpse. You stare at a blue rug. It's draped over the outline of a someone. Sorry, you can't sleep down here. Check under the rug. Underneath you find a cold corpse of a human. Human, tall and beautiful, like yourself, known as the pest of the coast by those who are less inclined to reproduce like rabbits. Thinning blonde hair, unkempt facial hair. Yeah, this guy looks fresh, like he could just sit up and talk to you. Alright. If you select a dice roll, you then roll, okay? Sure. It's probably going to be quite... I'm good with corpses, right? What do you mean? Like, I've been trained to handle them. Heck, you know exactly what you're doing. Formal training is for people without true talent. Alright. I got it, I'm a master of corpse craft. Indeed. Alright. Mine, you believe in your non-existent abilities. Perfect. Oh, hell yeah, exactly on the point. There's something strange here. There is no, this is an irregular, gentle repose. Look close, but do not move the corpse, okay? Harsh scars over the skin. Signs of being either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Cause of death appears to be not directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Alright, considering his age and the shape of his body, this man most likely died of a common disease or internal failure. Alright, that's pretty broad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you will get. Except, what? There's also a marking on the right leg, a circle with a cross inside. You recall that this is a marking of PR, potential revivification. Alright, this guy can be revived. Seems so. He most likely died during care, and was granted immediate gentle repose. However, he clearly did not have an RF, a revive fund, nor did he have family members with enough ready cash. Alright, or perhaps he was just an unlikable fellow, who knows. Fair enough. Okay. So I could cast Revivify on this guy. Potentially, yes. It's okay. Yeah, as long as he doesn't wake up or anything. If you can suffer the loss of moral integrity, not like this guy will complain. But don't go around talking about this too loud, okay? Okay, so who was he? His hands are calloused. He's built like a sarcophagus. Just a man, a dead man. Why is he here? This is a morgue, a lich house, clearly. Corpses are kept on cooling in places like this before cremation or burials. Coolie, Forgan is slang for I understand you, my friend, and or client. Yeah, I love that this game sometimes gives you, like, highlights the words, like normal words, and then just gives you a definition for, you know, some random shit. Alright. Oh shit, sorry, I bumped the mic. RIP headphones users. Alright, what do we have? Can I have some incense? Okay, Divine Shrine. Let's engage and see what we get. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The color is faded. This monument is hollow, void of life and divinity. Okay. And words. It's covered in rotten apples. Okay. Are these rare? No. You'll find shrines like this all over Norvik. Sacred shrine left in the state is an insult to Earth and all of his people. Indeed. Yet you are very much aware that this is not the worst you will see. You will have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream afloat. Alright. Remove the apples. It does not take long for you to move some of the nasty apples away. A small improvement, but big and hard. Alright, these old things are still around, huh? A remnant of blindness and decay. Can I pray here? To what exactly? There are many gods listening to our prayers, always. Just remember that they might not respond so clearly. Okay, so I can pray to some random god. You may pray as you wish. There's an internal element to it that is underappreciated. Alright, let's pray. You feel small. Okay, you must prepare them at shrines. Okay. So what other gods are there? Many. You know a few. Okay, so we have Urf. Urf is dead. Dead gods do not speak. You have devoted your life to follow in his footsteps. Okay. I have Ilum. Ilum the Mender was an elven goddess, a builder of an army, of a cult, and a way of life in Ascani. Ascan, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is called Mountainous Realm. It is your home, also referred to as Ascani. A real lady, this Mender. You've heard the stories. Beautiful, terrifying. All the elf stereotypes rolled into one. They say a look from her could turn a man's heart until his dying breath. Though most men have a story like that, so it's probably more of a woman thing than an elf goddess thing. Alright, elf scary primal overlords of the forest. Rare in Norvik, but they got their hidden roots all over Ascan. Okay, Prima, one of the 3 pillars of magic. It represents the natural, wild, savage, and element forces of Yor. They cannot be controlled, only bargained with. Yor, the name of our realm, also the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing, at the end of the Gate era. Okay, a book learned arcane spellcaster, of course. What about esoteric? The magic of Yor? I'm not sure if I should say Yor or Jor. I'll say Yor, I think, and his strings. The coast is infused with it. She would not respond, even if you had something to tell her. She's mostly known around these parts as that crazy witch that broke in and charmed 100 warriors back in the day. It's a classic tale, but Urf had a nice chat with her and everything was fine. Urf and Ilum stayed away from each other as business, officially at least. She died a couple of decades before Urf did. Nowadays, the elves are a bit more expansionist. Okay. And then we have Asgal. Asgal Ashmask. Asgal Ashmask was the dwarven god of exiles and egalitarianism. Okay. A dwarf of a lower caste born deep in the Lekmumuras tunnels. When he attained divinity in 443 AE, he crushed the kingdoms and formed the Asgal Folkem Forge. On his death in 470 AE, a great civil war broke out, resulting in the exile of all his followers to the surface. But his influence was felt all around the Undercoast and above as his exiled dwarves spread Asgalism to all corners of Yor. Okay, Undercoast, a nickname for the Undersea Coast. Undersea Coast, the gravity reversed cavern. See an archipelago right underneath the coast. Interesting. Dig down far enough and you will end up passing through the gravity, flip, and then you can make the climb to the undercoast. Just like Australia. His followers do not pray for him, for he is not even seen as a god by most. Okay? And then we have Tokik the Gambler. A trickster, the type of god only famous for his ridiculous ploys. Tokik the Gambler is often seen as a silly goblin myth. A trickster goblin who united the tribes of Ascani during the Divine Era, most famous for cutting off his hand to fulfill a prophecy. Damn, that's very, very much a dedication. In truth, there are few goblins who still worship him after the conquest. Praying to Tokig would, if you for some reason would get the response, only result in the exact opposite of whatever you wanted. Okay, and Bulba the Last Titan. First of many, a beast of Yor. A beast of Yor, a term for those creatures invited by Yor during the Gate era. Essentially, a term for all extremely old and ancient creatures across the coast. Gate era, the first out of 5 eras. When Yor crafted his realm, and the gods fought to bring order, that was the Gate War. Bulba was that of the Hunt. The last of the Titans fought against dragons in Vorgeni, died in a, oh my god, Hexy swamp? His corpse spawned many monstrosities across the coast. Behemoths who raged across the coast. In his name, we celebrate the eternal hunt. Okay, I'm done. So you are. I don't really have... Do I have any spells to prepare? I do have Cure Wounds. Sure. Let's prepare that. I also... wait. Can't I heal here through Divine Assurance or something? Not precisely. The gods do not usually grant divine interventions for minor injuries. Well, let's try. And we had a success. You focus your mind on Ur's symbol, his red eye, and you remember the words. Chant, watch upon me, Earth, shepherd of his folk. You're filled with a spirit of nostalgia and power. Let me pick up the burden. Lend me your strength. You feel reinvigorated. This is it. This is prayer of healing. Yes, indeed. Alright. Sadly, you're unable to cast secondary spells at this time. But it won't be long until you will be. Alright. Any other... You can pray. And... tranquility. Alright. So we can contemplate all different things. Contemplate a tea shop. You let your mind go through the basics of what you know. The tea shop was destroyed in the middle of the day. Minor injuries were reported. Your goal is to enter the tea shop and investigate it properly. That's it. Alright? Contemplate the elections. The first election. Your vote won't matter. Your vote will be the most what? Your vote won't matter? Your vote will be the most important of all? Huh? Okay. Interesting. Ask those around you what they will vote for and might find your own voice along the way. Okay? Identity is not easy. It's everything, from faction to home life to street. What you choose might be a first step. Choose wisely. Alright. Can I return here? Always. You are the only one who is always there. No one ever answers your prayers. Damn. Okay. I'm done here. Alright, let's see. We have a scroll in here. Shield of Faith. Okay, we memorized that. So let's actually prepare our other spells that we have. So how many spells? We have 3 spell slots. I can't really do Prayer of Healing anyway, so I guess we just do both of them. What's the Shield of Faith? Casting time 1 bonus action, okay. Appears, surrounds you, protecting you from damage. For the duration, any loss of hit points is reduced by 1. Okay. So we have it up to 1 hour. Not that long, but I guess if we are going to be in a fight, in the Cure Wounds, we have 1d8 plus Wisdom. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, finish. Okay, we have more apples here. Central apple pile. You stare at a pile of apples. Walk away. If you know what's good for you. Apples are good for you. Okay. Should these be stored alongside corpses? No, it's a health hazard. Of course not, it's nasty. Something tells you that no, they should not. Oh, whose apples are these? Maybe they're grown somewhere around here or below, from the ground or from trees. Failure of intelligence is great. Could I eat my way through the pile of apples? You can certainly try. You have a feeling it might be worth your while, but only if you push to the end. You are not capable of carrying such a tremendous burden. It would be greatly beneficial. Please don't. You are not the apple boy anymore. Okay. Let's see. Let's remove the bad apples. All right. Your hands swipe off the surface of apples, carefully plucking away any with signs of spoilage. Well, D7, we should be good. Oh my god. Oh, success. Oh, Jesus. That was lucky. You look upon this challenge with determination. Your stomach is empty. Dig in. Digging in, the first apple goes down the hatch. Going smooth so far. Another one. Number 2 goes well. You chew it in peace. Third one. Okay. This one was harder. Your stomach fights the taste. It's getting difficult. One more should be fine. This is the limit. As you chow down on the apple, you feel your jaw ache, your hands shake. Apple overdose. Dangerous stuff. Not such thing. Come on. You feel refreshed, for a moment at least. The pile of apple towers over you still. You have barely made a dent. Yes, eat the apples. Eat the apple boy. As you feel sick, you can see something sticking out of the pile of apples. A piece of paper. No. It's a spell scroll. Okay. Dancing light. Scroll is just a simple cantrip. Oh well. You quickly memorize the scroll, consuming it into your psyche, as you always do. Some people at the towers used to fear your innate power to master magic like that, which is understandable. It's pretty terrifying. Okay, cantrips cast at will outside of dialogues. Okay. Very cool. Bottom right, where is this one? Okay. So you create a torch-sized light within range, making it appear as a torch, lantern, or glowing orb that hovers in the air for the duration. Whichever form you choose, the light sheds a dim. Okay. Let's cast that. Why not? And then we have short rest. Okay. Can I engage with apples more? Okay. We have this. Oh, what do we have here? Okay, great amount of apples. We have a voting card. Let's get the apple. Okay. A guy. He looks indecisive. Okay. You approach a shambling man by the apple pile. He does not acknowledge your presence. He is unaware of you. Greeting, citizen. Glancing under his hood, you catch a blank expression spread upon a dried face. What is your name, sir? He does not even turn to look at you. You're trying something here, smartass. Why is this man not listening to me? His glassy dark eyes just stare forward into nothing. Wait, is this a zombie? Attack the zombie. Sir, are you a member of the undead? Okay, how disappointing. Okay, what's he doing? The zombie is attempting to clear a path through the apple pile. He's probably been at it for a long time. Alright, should I defeat this zombie? That would be pretty scary. Guy's not harming anyone. Honestly, he's probably a more productive member of society than you. I don't think I can fight with him with no weapons and having 6 strength, so... Let's actually, yeah, I want to use up all of that stuff, so is this your voting card? Alright, no. You grip the voting card firmly in your gloved hand. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. You're very rude. Alright, we need to establish an agalist government. It's the only way for us average peasants to not fall back into the oppression of feudalism or worse, majorcracy. A government with heart. Alright, I have become an agalist, okay? Social democratic model, okay. Working class revolution is clearly needed. As long as you don't collapse like all of the ones. A true working class revolution is clearly needed. Cooperative ownership of the guilds is the first step, just like Earth established with Norvican collectivized agriculture. Alright. Fleshy ball plank does not reply or counter your words. Am I boring you? The zombie carefully placed another apple at the top of a pile. He does not have an opinion of any kind. Alright, go away. That's it, because we can't get through the zombie. So I guess we will come back when we have more, like a weapon or something, so we can fight the zombie. Let's see. Alright, let's loot everything, I guess. Empty pot. Looking inside, you find this pot to be empty. The pot was recently emptied. You can still see remnants of dust at the bottom. There is fear. What? You must grow sturdier. Interesting. Okay, let's get this. What do we have here? Okay, you can loot another body. Let's see. Take this. What is this? And do not consume these sludgy liquids. Okay. And then we have a red eye of Urf. And Yor left his mark across the bands. Today it is a universal sign of magic. Okay, we have this guy. But I think before I speak with him, let's see what we have here. Ruined prayer book. Oh my god. The book is ruined. Most of the pages, while dry now, have been completely drenched. Only a few pages of the soggy, bracken-ish papyrus pages are readable. They appear to contain some type of undecipherable symbols. Ascani writing, of the most basic kind. Wait, oh no. Someone has attempted to dry this to the best of their ability. No, no, no. By Earth. This is your prayer book. So many hours wasted. You would have to rebind the whole thing. It is ruined. That will cost a fortune, alright? Oh well. The stone slabs are designed to slide along the iron beams. Interesting. Okay, what do we have here? You flip open the tome. There are fine handwritten letters scattered across the pages. While the symbols appear to be readable, you do not understand the language. The verbis draconum ars occulta. The author name appears to be Kylem Diminori, something like this. Alright, I need to get my hands on comprehend languages. Right, that is a spell you use to keep prepared all the time. Find a spell scroll. Maybe you could buy it somewhere. It's fairly common, okay? No, you have no idea what it means. Okay. What about these books? Esoteric books. So many books. Basic manuals, arcanist histories, novels. Some of them stand out to you as classics. It could be useful to refresh your mind. The books taunt you bookishly. Okay, let's read the autobiography Prax by Lord Filius Prax. Take a look at the first page. In these pages, I shall endeavor to recount the journey of a mind born to greatness, a will tempered by the crucible of ambitious and spirit bound to the relentless pursuit of arcane. My name is Filius Prax. Okay, arcane, one of the three pillars of magic, represented by the forces that make up all esoteric events. Those who play your strings step into these powers, programming the laws of existence around their whims. Your strings, the leyliness of esoteric power that holds the realm together. It goes on to make grandiose statements on his personal abilities of magic. As always, this man is a contradictionary. He praises both his own natural gifts and mental abilities, while stating himself worthy only through his hard work and merit. I don't know why the dialogue sometimes jumps. It's ridiculous. Esoteric books. Okay, know this. I write not for the masses, but for the few who possess the clarity of vision to see beyond the veil of mediocrity. To them, I offer my life as a lesson and a legacy, that they might learn from my triumphs and avoid the pitfalls that lie in wait for the unwary. You remember the first chapters dealing with his youth, growing up in the roofless court of a rival house, the Haginshaks. how he struggles against relentless opposition and bullying, making himself out to be an underdog. Power is not born of blood, nor inherited by the fortune or of birthright. It is cultivated in the crucible of the mind, refined by the fires of discipline, and sharpened by the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Let those who seek to rule first learn to kneel before the altar of wisdom, for it is there that true strength is forged. Yet he does not address his own privilege. If it is only merit, then he should not have needed any of those fancy private studies or lectures. Stop complaining, the story is just getting good. Alright, a glorious design. Let those who learn lead, through merit of ability and nothing else. Alright, let's flip through the pages. In the second half, Sprague begins to talk about his early political career, the intricacies of majocratic bureaucracy, how he learned to play the game well enough for himself to reach a dictatorship as the youngest majocratic ruler ever. It's always hard to read a person through pages, but this dude is clearly dancing around his massive ego. Not that there's anything wrong with that, impressive even. The rest is mostly collection of meditations surrounding magic and power. The esoteric, in its purest form, is neither good nor evil. It is a tool, a force to be wielded by those with the intellect to do so. Yet, let us not be so naive as to think that power alone grants one the right to rule. The arcanism must also be a statement, for the whims of unchecked magic can lead even the wisest astray. Govern with an iron hand, but let that hand be guided by the principles of reason and justice. Thus shall the state prosper, and thus shall the legacy of the majocracy endure. Okay? Ironic. In the halls of power, the arcane shall be our shield and our sword. Yet remember this, the arcanist's duty is not only to himself, but to the state and its people. For in the endless pursuit of knowledge, one must not forget the price of ignorance. A vigilant mind is the guardian of civilization, and a vigilant state the fortress of progress. Let no shadow fall upon our vigilance, for in the light of our knowledge lies the path to true dominion. The final parts of the biography focus on an even deeper and more rambling side of ruling, with hints of paranoia. This is way too much reading. Why would you open the book then? Fair? You shut it, looking upon the title once more. Alright? What's the next one? Folk Tales by the Trill Sisters. Opening the Trill Sister book shows you an index of several tales, many of which you heard growing up. Stories for children are useless, do not waste time here. Out of the tales, you see the one you remember the most, the one about the gnome and the titan. The story always spoke to you, mostly because of the unlikely friendship between the two. Right, let's read a little and a large. In the old days, when dragons ruled the skies and titans wandered the earth, there lived a gnome named Abacus, known far and wide as a half-wit. Whether by fate or folly, he often found himself in the oddest of places, and so it was that he stumbled into the deep valley of Ascan. The valley was home of Ka-Imor, the Mist Titan, a colossal being with fur as thick as the ancient forests and limbs that clutched the very mountain tips. His upper body was hidden in, or perhaps made of, the swirling mist that filled the valley. But on this day, the valley was not the serene refuge it had once been. The air was thick with ash, and rivers can run black, and the trees stood as charred husks. Esuf, the ancient red dragon, had set the forest aflame, hoping to drive Ka-Imor from his domain and claim the fertile valley for himself. Ka-Imor was furious, his great form trembling with rage as he searched for the source of the distractions. His eyes fell upon Abacus, who was wandering aimlessly, his tiny mind more puzzled by the sudden darkness than anything else. Alright. Continue on the verses. Thrik Lam Cham, who dares bring fire to where none should come? Ashes taint my sacred mist speak. Small one, lest you be misted. Abacus looked up, squinting through the fog, and scratched his head. Fire? No, I have no fire to share, no flame do I bring, nor ash to bear. For in the dark I see clear as day, 'tis those who can't that need the flame, they say. Tricklum chum, what nonsense from your tongue does come? Who is this that needs this blaze, that blackens my mist and dims my days? Well, question thee, who needs the flame, to light their path and stoke their chain? Perhaps it is Ashuk, the king, whose fires to your valley bring. Right, the dragon days are surely done. Guide me, gnome, to where he lies. Together we shall dim his skies. A wonderful little tale about the little and large. The story goes on to wax about the friendship sparked between the eldritch titan and the silly little gnome as they sought out Asut on his throne. The ancient red dragon then falls to the titan might after Abacus accidentally guides him to the correct location. One of those classic stories every child in Ascan is told growing up. Alright. Okay, more XP.